I'm from Anambra State. And basically, Newi, you now know that I have to talk about money. It's natural. It's not optional. Because if you were born or raised in Newi, from the time you are 7, you will notice that the determinant of how the world runs is how much money you have. Spirituality, following the Lord with all your heart, does not automatically translate or influence how money comes to you. That you are committed to church, you are always there as a media person, very committed. That you are a very good chorister, committed to the Lord, playing keyboard or saxophone, cannot guarantee that money will come to you. First, I want to establish the principle I just mentioned, that spirituality, following the Lord with all your heart, loving the Lord, and everybody, including God, knows you love him, does not automatically translate or influence how money comes to you. That is what I want you to know. Because some people are questioning it. Why? How come? I am serving God. God owns all the money in the world. Why is he not giving me? In fact, honestly speaking, if you sincerely ask that question like I did, by now you should have been getting answers. Young people, I say to them that you are committed to church. You are always there as a media person, very committed. You are always there as a chorister. You're always in church. Of course, these are ministries that consume a lot of your time. A lot. Being a music minister or in the media team, it consumes a lot of time. Because you need time to physically plan these things apart from the spiritual component. Now I said to them, please note that you are a very good chorister, committed to the Lord, playing keyboard or saxophone, cannot guarantee that money will come to you. It shouldn't, it will not. What you should do is to ask, based on my person, what do I do so that money comes to me? Because that thing you are doing is ministry. It opens opportunities. It opens possibilities. But what you do with these opportunities and possibilities are 100% dependent on what you know. If you don't utilize them, they don't produce. They are all wonderful channels. If you are prayerful, you are serious-minded in the Lord, serving God with all your heart, you love the Lord, as watchmen mostly are, it is a platform on which you should stand to now launch. It doesn't bring the money and deliver it life to you. No. This I have also observed, that many have not known that even if you are in a position and money flows into your hands, money comes into your hands as a result of certain things you do, certain spiritual things you do, what you do with that money, how you manage it, is altogether your job. Where you channel the money, what you put it into, is altogether your making. And this goes now to determine whether the money will continue coming or not. Okay, let me explain this. Sometime in 2002, 2003, as a result of my continuous query about what really makes for making money in this life, what will a man do to make sure he has money? What do I do so that I will never be poor? What is that thing? It's a question I kept asking. Remember, I told you my background. So I already made up my mind, I can never be poor. I have to make money. It's not by choice. I just have to make money. So I began to ask a lot of questions. In 2003, I had a voice in my ears. One of the voices I heard, because it's not just one, saying, before any man, young people pay attention, before any man born in this world reaches the age of 40, it is both a hypothesis and a theory. You can test it again. At a time in his life, before he reaches age 40, you will come to that point where the money you make, either daily or weekly or monthly, depending on how your money comes, will be 2 times of what you need for the present day. I deliberately paused so that you think about it. There is anybody here that is up to 40 years, just relax when you get home and reflect from when you started making money. Reflect back. If you're up to 40 years here, when you get home, sit down and reflect back when you started making money. Has there not been a time in your life, that is if it is not happening now, that you, of any amount you needed for your personal life, let me explain it. At any level you live your life, anyhow you live your life, there is that amount that supports your daily life. Did we understand that? I don't know how to explain it, but let me try. There are people here that every month, to live comfortably, so that there's no strain, there's no stress in the family, you need 100,000 every month. For some people, it is 200,000. For some, it is 500. For some, it is 1 million. Yes, there are people seated here that if they don't make up to 1 million naira a month, the present life they live will drop. Because the 2 cars he drives, each of them eats fuel, only the car eats fuel of 30,000, 40,000 every month. Pastor, am I right? It's true. So at the end of the month, he needs 1 million naira to support his life for the month. The other person with 100,000, life runs well. He doesn't have a car. The house he's living in is his own, so he doesn't pay rent. All he needs is just small things. So 100,000 runs the month. For another person, 200. For some people, 500. So from the time you began to know what it means to make money, before you reach 50, there is always the amount that supports you every day. Before you hit that 40, there must come a time in your life when you need 200,000. You need 20,000 as a young man every month. That's what runs your life. At the end of the month, what you have made is 40. Everybody experienced it. And I got the information that it is what you do with that extra at that time that will determine the next level. It's a very, very, very important principle. They don't teach us these things in school. My prayer is that one of these days we will set up that school where men are taught about money. Because at the end of the day, everything still boils down to money. Whether you get a job or you start a business, everything still boils down to money. So, note this. It is a very important season of life that you need to monitor. For young people, note it. If today what you make is 60,000, ask yourself, at the end of the month, how much do I spend out of that 60? If you normally spend 30, it means you are keeping 30. What you do with that 30 you kept is what is going to determine your next level. And at a time will come in your life that it is what you do with that extra that will determine whether you will live a stable financial life or not. I'm not going to stress that. It's a principle that if you want to understand it, you need to think, and then I will tell you other things about that. So quickly, I go to my next slide. I wish you had seen my slide because there are some graphics there that speaks to you. My logo, my money logo is a tree that produces money, but that tree is standing on top of a book. A tree that the leaves are all dollars. Is a tree planted on top of a book. That's a tree standing on a book, and the roots are all inside the book, and the leaves of the tree is money. Okay, maybe sometime we'll project it, you'll see it. So why do I love that picture or that graphic and take it as my signature graphic? The reason is, whatever amount of money you are ever going to have is determined by the knowledge of money that you have. There are people that are doing the same business. One will be moving, growing, his business is growing. Another person in the same business going down. If you ask the man whose business is going down, he will explain it in very, I don't want to use the wrong word, but in very physical terms that confer advantage on the man whose business is growing and confers disadvantage on him whose business is not growing. And let me explain that. If you ask the person, this young man, his business is just growing, he's been moving, he has rented another shop, he now has he say, his in-law gave him 1 million now. If somebody had given me 1 million last year, by now I would have been flying. That's what he will say. So in that case, he tells you that why that man is doing well is because his in-law gave him 1 million. Or somebody gave him money. Or he was lucky, he got a connection. And Chinese or an importer is giving him goods on credit. That he himself, he hasn't got such thing. If he had got it, he would have as well been making money. Please note, the secret of that person's growth is not just in that physical thing that happened. It is in the things that led to it happening. There is a reason why his in-law gave him 1 million. He's not the only person his in-law knows. He's not the only person that has an in-law that can give 1 million. There are some others that got 1 million, not from their in-law, from other sources. Some other person borrowed money from the bank and is doing well. Another person borrowed money from another bank and is not doing well. So I am trying to say the reason for a success is not as superficial as many of us see it. No. And 90% of the success is not based on that physical thing you are seeing that can happen to everybody. It is based on the individual. There is something he is doing or not doing that is making things work. That's the principle I want to bring out in the area of knowledge. Two people, one a lecturer, the other person same lecturer in the same university. But you watch, one is inclined to business, and so he begins to find business in his lecturing job. Within 5-10 years, he has become a consultant in that area he's lecturing. When I studied agri-economics, and when we were in school, we had our lecturers who were rich. Why? While they were lecturing in the College of Agriculture or in the School of Agriculture in the university, they began to run a farm, their own farm. And so, they are not just making money from their lecturing job, they are also making money from their farms. Some others became consultants to federal government. Some became consultants to World Bank. Even though they are just lecturers. Some other people, as lecturers, began to run so many other consultancy services, while there are some others that will stay there. They are not doing any of those. They are only getting their salary and complaints about every other person. in a short while, a difference is clearly made. Note that you decide where you are going from the beginning. Those who became consultants already determined that as I get into this lecturing job, I want to go this way. And they go that way and keep driving on. Before you know it, the result is showing. And they are a lot better. Now, I have laid a foundation. I can run. Many people have a wrong notion about money. What is that? They believe that whatever you get is just know that it's not by your making. Now, this issue of money you are talking about, it's not really by your making. It's just if God helps you, you get money. But they don't like to say the other one. If God doesn't help you, let's say it now. If God helps you, if God does not help you, so those who are making money, God is. Those who are not making money, it is not true that those who are making money is because God is helping them. Because if it is true, then those who are not making money, God is not helping them. God is helping all of us. So you should bring it to. So the beginning of your successful financial journey is when you understand that you are 100% responsible. It is up to you. Your financial status is up to you. Stop abdicating that job to God. It's not his job to make you to have a lot of money in your hands. It's your job. He has provided all that you need for life and godliness. It's available.